really don't have any regrets because I don't live that way. I don't have rearview mirrors, so I don't look backwards. And this is the reason I said, you know what? It's time to let everyone know the truth, and especially the babies, who I call the babies and the kids. Smitty, before I give all this out, you know me well enough by now. I think you know that I'm not the average Joe White guy walking in to a job interview or applying for a job or going after a job that from Beverly Hills or something. Right. I think anybody in my genre, let's say community college, obviously, A, they know me now. B, they know who I am and what I am.
Yep.
Who and what I am. Who I am and what I am are completely two separate discussions. And I think both of those say JB is about as JUCO can get. Having said that, there's going to be some DEI discussions in here because I'm going to be very open and candid with this whole discussion. And this is why Smitty and I go back and forth all the time in the world about certain things. But I'm going to show you and prove to you that this is really crazy on what's happening out here. And I say that to say, I really don't care because I know what the community college level is. But we got to stop because the players, the kids, the student body are being affected by what I'm about to tell you that went down to me yesterday. So, Smitty, let's get this thing started. I'm probably going to lose a lot of friends and or acquaintances. Remember, I told you there's partners, acquaintances, homies, and friends. Yeah. I like tight circles anyway. So we all do. But we have to stop. We have to stop. Let's get this party started. We have to stop the way we hire community college football coaches. It is not hurting me. I promise you. I'm on the yacht later on. I got the motherfucking big dog 6.6 Duramax out here at Denali. I got the 650 drop top. I promise you, I'm not affected. And I don't believe any coach that goes through the hiring process is literally affected. They can be hurt, sad they didn't get a job, but they're not affected. It's not hurting us.
Right.
It's hurting the community and the kids. Wake the fuck up, HR and presidents of you schools out there who have not a clue when hiring your head football coach. Now, I'm going to whistleblow for the first time in my life, Smitty, and since I have a platform, I woke up and said, fuck it, man. I thought about it all night long, and I said, fuck it, man. It's time to do it. I'm doing it right now. I was approached about 3 weeks ago from a school locally. I didn't even tell Bailey. I didn't tell Smitty. I told not one friend of mine. Nobody knew that I was approached. I knew people. It's a Southern California community college here locally, not far from me. And I know people there and former people from there. I actually coached there. I recruited an NFL guy to this school in 2006 by the name of Brad Sorensen. I always turn down interviews nowadays, Smitty, at JUCOs in California because I know how shitty they are. And that's what I mean by shitty. I know how shitty they are when it comes to hiring and the politics that go into the job of hiring the football coach. Cali JUCO, Smitty, to give everybody some context, has 72 schools that play football. Now I believe it's below that because LA Harbor JUCO dropped football. But they have 72 schools that play football throughout the country. The rest of the country combined, Smitty, has 72. California has 72 JUCOs that play football.
Yeah. The rest of the country
has 72 combined.
Insane.
So there's 144 JUCOs that play in the country. 72 national JUCOs, 72 in California. That's totally separate from the national scale. So just giving everybody a history lesson. Now, I was approached about 3 weeks ago, so I thought about it, and I said, nah, I know why you want my name in your applicant pool. And my agent and manager like, JB, fuck them, it's over, don't do it anymore. I said, all right. And This was years ago, because what happens, Smitty, is they want my name in there so it can attract other good applicants to say, oh, JB's going after that job. It must be worthy of going after, so let's go get it.
Right.
That's for the school, not for me. They use me as like the sacrificial lamb to draw in better applicants at shithole schools. So I was approached 3 weeks ago. I thought about it and I said, man, I know people there, and I know a couple people there that were like, JB, come on, man, this could be your last hoorah. You could change some lives, blah, blah, blah. The coaching part of those guys get it. Changing lives, blah, blah. But they're not the hiring party. And that's what's in the back of my head. I already knew going in. I'm like, you're not hiring though, homie. And I stopped doing this years ago, so I am content. But let me put it this way. After yesterday, Smitty, I am now fully content and have moved on with my life as today, 1/16/2025. My coaching days are officially done. I will never say never, Smitty, because never is a hard word. But it would take an act of God to get me to coach again after what happened yesterday. And I'm not scarred or saddened or mad about what happened yesterday. It's what I figured. 100%. I'm on record telling people before the interview yesterday that this is how it will go down. So I'm not surprised at this. I'm not hurt by it. I'm just content, and it just vindicated me because it has proven that I was correct, and I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to junior college, like nobody else out there. So let's get into the story, Smitty.
Uh-oh.
Here's the story.
Get your popcorn ready, y'all.
I hate to be a whistleblower, but I'm gonna give you the school name and everything. Fuck it. San Bernardino Community College, SBVC, San Bernardino Valley College, is, thank you, Bailey, did me a nice little cover. Smitty, when I do jobs, I go all in. I don't go half-ass. So I had Bailey create me this. That was on a cover of a portfolio that I submitted with everything. By the way, they didn't accept because they said they couldn't. But anyway, so this college asked me to go apply for the job. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to apply. But it is what it is. I coached here in 2006, Smitty, so I have full experience on this campus. I've recruited many players there. I understood it. Last time they actually were any good, by the way, contrary to belief. But anyway, I go in there to meet these guys yesterday and interview. Now, let me tell you, Smitty, when I say mockery, I mean mockery of the coaching profession and a slap in every kid in that community in their faces. And boy, oh boy, when I say what I'm about to say, people need to wake up and understand this is happening across America, not only here in California, but it does happen specifically, it happens more in inner city communities than it does anywhere else. These schools, Smitty, think they are so smart by hiring the way they do. And let me break news real quick. First of all, this is fact. You can look this up. Since these community colleges have added the DEI hiring method, which they have used, the last 6 hires at this school have been absolute flops, bust, and the best candidate was not hired. I'm going to repeat, and it's proof. You can go find it. The last 6 hires at this school since DEI has been implemented have been complete, flat, fall on their face bust of coaches and administrators. Also, none of them, and just take it for what you want to take it, were white. Not that I care, but just giving you some context. If you know me and you know what I'm about to tell you, and that's why I started the show off with Smitty. I think Smitty knows who I am, and everyone else knows who I am, and every player out there knows who I am. If you act as if I'm some regular-ass white dude coming from Beverly Hills off the street to go apply for this job, then you shouldn't even be on the hiring committee. First of all, professionally speaking, Smitty, when hiring in the state of California, when you fly the job as a professor/coach, you have procedures to follow. This place literally broke every one of them yesterday with me. The HR secretary, first of all, knows me right out the gate. First of all, Smitty. No, I didn't know her. I'm not saying that. I didn't hit her.
I know. She know you.
I didn't know her. If you do know an interviewer, you're not supposed to acknowledge it and say you know him. That's against the guidelines and bylaws of hiring someone because it is considered prejudice or discriminatory. You are already judging the person prior to the interview. That's just law and code. That's ed code in California when hiring a professor. This isn't an adjunct part-time job. This is a full-time coaching job. The teaching part of it would be the football class and the weight room, which would have been nothing, but that's how they fly it, right?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this job pays like $112,000. I would have gave that money to fucking my assistant coaches, Smitty and Bailey. I would use it for NIL. I'm just going to be clear here. So I do not need the $112,000. Okay, I want to be fucking clear. So I walked in during this interview with someone before me, and I sit down. The lady, and there's a lady there, and I'm going to explain this. I walked in, Smitty, during an interview with someone else. So literally, I look down and I see feet in this room. I'm like, God damn, there's a lot of people in that motherfucker for a full-time faculty position. Usually there's 6-7 people tops.
Right.
There's 20 people in this room.
Jason, you lying.
I swear to God. So there's 20 people in here.
20 people?
But Smitty, here's the cold part. I could literally hear every question being asked to the applicant that was in there being interviewed. And that's my first red flag. I'm listening to the interview and I'm looking around like, I can hear every question being asked, right? And I hear the guy's answer. And the guy sounded like a young kid that was applying, and he was in there, and I felt bad for the kid because every question he said was horrible.
Every answer he gave?
Every answer he gave, I'm like, oh, fuck, what a run-on sentence, motherfucker. That means you don't know.
Yeah.
So look, no offense to him. I don't know who it was. I didn't see him. But I asked the young lady, who was very sweet and nice, by the way. I said, ma'am, does this candidate walk out through here when he leaves the interview? And she goes, yes, sir. I said, don't take this wrong, ma'am, but can I move? I do not want to be seen. And I said, don't take it wrong. I have my reasons, not to be weird. And I made it like light and funny. So she starts laughing. She goes, oh, no, coach, I know who you are. First of all. So I look at her and I go, okay. Then she said, I'm so shocked you are here right now. And she's all like giddy, not jocking me or nothing. She's just like, you could tell. She's like, happy. I'm like, oh. She goes, then she goes, we finally have someone that knows what they're doing. So I'm like, all right. This is my type of tea. This part, my type of party. Motherfuckers, it takes the whole village, Smitty.
HR, janitors, at the top of the
telling you, yes. So I'm like, okay, I got a decent vibe here. Maybe this is the job I'll take for my last hoorah. So I said, I got my reasons. Let me move then. I don't want to be seen by any applicants because then, JB's here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want, and if I don't get the job, I don't want to be on Twitter tomorrow saying JB was there at the interview.
Right.
I don't want that. So she moved me in the back into a room where another HR lady meets me at. And she has a packet. She has a packet of questions for me.
Okay.
15 of them that you now have, Smitty. And she tells me, listen, you got 10 minutes to answer every one of these questions, and you're going to write the answer down below the question. And I said, I didn't say this, Smitty, but I'm like, what are we, fucking 8? So I go, ma'am, do I have to write this? Who gets this? She goes, nobody, you get it. I said, excuse me? She said, you're going to write your questions so you have them in front of you during the answers. Or during the question.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm going to write the answers to the questions so I can have them in front of me when you ask me these same questions?
That's insane, homie.
Dear baby Jesus, I come for you today to let you know that the hiring process in California Junior College needs to stop immediately. And presidents need to get a grip with HR and find out a way to really hire the best candidate not a DEI, not a hire that appeases the masses of woke culture, but hire someone for the babies, the kids that actually need me, Your Honor, or someone like me. Having said that, Lord, let's continue the conversation and whistleblow to let all the kids out there know that you guys have the voice. You need to be heard. You need to tell these administrators, presidents, and HR people, hire someone like JB, not like these other idiots that you fire in a year anyway. And that being said, your name, amen. All right, Smitty, so the first red flag is I'm like, okay, well, listen, ma'am, do I need to write down the questions and the answers to the questions? She goes, no, you don't, but we're gonna take that packet in 10 minutes anyway. I go, you're gonna take the packet? You just told me to write the answers. Yeah, but we're gonna take it from you, and then you're gonna go to another room and wait, and then they're gonna call you in, and then we're gonna give you back the packet.
That's insane.
At this point, I'm like, this is a mockery. So anyway, I said, all right, whatever, ma'am, each his own, but I'm not going to write the answers. I don't need to even read the questions. Whatever you ask me, I've done this long enough. You can't ask me nothing. Unless you ask me some shit about E squared, I don't need MC squared. I don't need to know shit else. So go in this meeting, Smitty. Finally, they call me in. So, Smitty, let's get started on this process. That FYI, nobody on this 17-member committee, this is what they tell me before I walk in. Coach Brown, I want to start the process by letting you know that no one has your resume. No one knows who you are, and no one is supposed to have the answers to the questions. Each one member on the committee will ask you a question, and then you can ask your own questions at the end, but they cannot ask you any follow-up questions.
Interesting.
So, Smitty, first of all, let me be clear here. They don't have my resume. They think that's bad business if they got the resume like the day before. So let me ask something. Here's how they did the process. I found out since yesterday.
That's weird.
They took the 10 applicants that had master's degrees of, let's say, 90 people that applied. 10 people had masters. The HR people picked 10 people that had masters. They had no clue about their coaching background, their coaching resume, what they've done for kids, what they've sent to college, who they've sent to the NFL, the programs they've rebuilt. Nothing. They have no idea. It's clearly a bureaucratic decision from HR that we're going to just take 10 guys with master's degrees and put them in front of this committee, and then the committee decides who goes on to the president and meets with him, which is today, by the way, a day later. But we're going to get to that.
That's insane.
Okay, so this committee supposedly doesn't know me. As soon as I walk in this room, Smitty, everyone's eyes and jaws dropped. And I felt like I was on a movie. Everybody in there knew me. I knew 8 people in there because I coached with them 20 years ago at San Bernardino Valley. So I'm like, this is the biggest mockery that I've ever seen in the hiring process. But I said, it is what it is. I'll play the game because I told my friend that's there I would. So I'm a man of my word. I said, let's do it. They said, Coach, you have 15 questions. You get 30 minutes to answer all of them. I was told by another whistleblower after this meeting, Smitty, I'm going to tell you this before I give you the story of the whole thing.
Okay.
That I was the only coach that answered all 15 questions within the allotted time.
So even though you thought it was some BS, you still did the best job with the bit, and you didn't take no notes. They took notes, homie.
Well, listen, I already have a person on the committee that's talked to me since then and said, JB, this is a joke and a mockery, and it wasn't even fucking close. And they just, I'll tell you what they told me. But anyway, they said, so basically I had 10 minutes to review the questions in that private room back there, right? Like I was in fucking, what's that jail in Cuba? Guantanamo. Like I was in Guantanamo Bay. So listen, I got 10 minutes to review the questions. I didn't. I looked at them and I go, okay, this is elementary as shit. Remember we did this bullshit the other day? It was all planned. I was fucking with everybody because these weren't the questions that you asked me the other day on the show. But now that I do have the questions, because I screenshotted them yesterday for this very reason, if I thought about blasting these motherfuckers, I was like, you know what? I got the platform. I'm going to screenshot these questions. So Smitty, you have the questions, but here's the thing. You should never take 30 minutes to answer 15 questions that you all found on Google. It's a mockery. All of you guys, and I hope the president of this school is listening, you guys are a joke. And it's a mockery that you allow the hiring process for your institution to be conducted in this manner. And all you guys that think I'm ghetto and loud and cussing up, I can talk with presidents of universities and I can talk with presidents of the United States. I can play the game. Don't get it twisted. I'm a cold hustler and I'm a chameleon. And this is why I am the best recruiter in America history. This is why I am who I am, because I can walk into any hood, anywhere, and I'll sell ice to an Eskimo at any time. Don't get it fucking twisted. You presidents who hold doctorate degrees, should be ashamed of yourselves, because you are letting great coaches and leaders of men get thrown back into regular society when they could be helping your campus, your players, and your student athletes that aren't even their players. Other players from other programs actually buy in to good football programs, because football runs your campus. Don't get it twisted. When you guys figure that out, maybe you'll change your process. But let's dive into it, Smitty. Let's just dive into the questions. And I want to be clear. I'm literally going to take the question you ask me and I'm going to type it into Google, and I want to see if this question was brought up and formed from Google. Because if that's how you hire,
these are definitely AI questions for sure.
Yeah, if that's how you hire, then which I knew, it's a joke. And you should not hire that way, because none of you on that committee knew about what it took to rebuild a program or how to do it. So Smitty, I'm just going to be honest. I knew going in that I was going to be perceived as arrogant, cocky, whatever. And I knew by how fast and direct I answered these questions, I knew that they were going to be turned off. And they were going to be scared, because they don't want to work. Remember, when you have other programs, coaches on the committee that are horrible, I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't know a lot of these guys, but they're bad. They're a bad program overall athletically. They have been for 20 years. When you just are taught to not ruffle feathers and not get in trouble, but losing is okay, it's not a place I want to be at anyway. So they are content, Smitty, with losing and not ruffling questions. They just don't want to ruffle any waves. They don't want to make waves. They just want this mediocrity shit, and that doesn't mix with me. And I'm glad today I'm here, knowing that I wasn't forced into this decision. Because, be clear, this is where, if you want me for me, because I think I'm known enough to know that you know who I am and what results I get. You don't want to be at a place like that. So anyway, let's dive into it.
Man, I got the questions right here.
Explain and then read the top, what it says.
I'm gonna set the stage, y'all. So at the very top of this, it says, you will have 10 minutes to review these interview questions. You will have 30 minutes to respond to these questions during your interview. It will be up to you to manage your time. You may write notes on this document, as you will be able to have this document in front of you during your interview. Any notes written on this document will not be used to determine any type of score, qualification, or candidacy. So that's the top. Just kind of set the stage, y'all. So question number 1, how was your personal, educational, and professional background prepared you for this role as head coach at SBVC?
First of all, I appreciate all you guys having me. It takes a lot of courage to have someone like me in front of you to interview. So I appreciate all you guys. First of all, I want to let you guys know that. They all said, oh, thank you, no problem. Appreciate you coming. I said, all right. I think I'm as JUCO gets. But I didn't say JUCO. I said community college. I said I'm as community college because I want to be professional, Smitty. JUCO's kind of hood. Mm-hmm. I said I'm as community college as community college gets. Number one, I was born for this position. I wasn't bred into it. So I said, I was born for this. I said, that's number one. Number two, I got 25 years of experience in this profession as a teacher and or coach. And I said, to answer your professional, I got a master's degree, 2 bachelor's degrees, and an associate degree. I said, I have about every degree you could have. And I said, I think I checked the boxes as far as educational. And your other question was, what was it, Cindy?
How has your personal, educational, and professional background prepared you for this role? So you just answered that pretty well. So I wrote for question number 2. Our college emphasizes diversity, equity, and inclusion. How have you incorporated these values into your teaching and coaching, both on and off the field?
Okay, so Bailey, I don't know if you could take that question and Google it.
DEI.
And see if it pops up. I would bet dollars to dimes it does. I'm not going to do it, but I'm just telling you, I would bet dollars to dimes. So read it again, Smitty.
Our college emphasizes diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's DEI, y'all. How have you incorporated these values into your teaching and coaching, both on and off the field? Jason?
I build relationships from diverse backgrounds, which create a safe space for open dialogue about personal experiences. I foster new coaching approaches to these individual needs, whether they have an IEP, a 504, or what have you. And I actively recruit from diverse talent pools and consistently challenge biased behaviors while promoting inclusivity in team dynamics. That was my answer.
You a bad boy for that one. Anytime my homie says foster, I foster something, you a bad boy.
I know the game, homie. If you're gonna send me a Googleable question, I'm gonna give you a Googleable answer.
You say I foster relationship.
You know what? These phony hiring processes, they want to hear trigger words.
Yeah, foster.
Trigger words, foster. That's the trigger. So that's literally what I said yesterday. Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Okay, next question. When student athletes face challenges such as not applying for financial aid, not following their educational plans, or struggling academically, how would you and your coaching staff collaborate with campus partners to address these issues? How would you ensure similar challenges are avoided in the future?
So go back, start over again. Sorry, I was looking at something.
When student athletes face challenges like not applying for financial aid, not following their educational plans, or struggling academically, how would you and your coaching staff collaborate with campus partners to address these issues? How would you ensure similar challenges are avoided in the future?
Here's the first part that they don't like. First of all, it comes down to who I hire. This is my question, yes, and my answer. I hire coaches with degrees. My coaches with degrees will have private one-on-one time with our student athletes that will develop and become private tutors, so you guys aren't bothered off hours, because we're the only ones that are 24/7, 365 with our kids. You guys clock in and clock out. And when I need a kid to pass a test or write a paper, guess what? My coach may have to be with him at 2 a.m. in a back room. So I want that coach to be educated enough to be able to teach him proper grammar, et cetera, so we don't use your resources in off-peak hours. Now, having said that, I'm going to hire coaches that have degrees, number one. What's the second part question?
Second part of the question was this right here. How would you, okay, so yeah, first part, how would you and your coaching staff collaborate with campus partners? I think you kind of answered that. How would you ensure similar challenges are avoided in the future?
Similar challenges or avoid those challenges in the future are we get our kids pre-recruiting. we know as juniors and seniors, are they applicable or ready to go to the NCAA? If they're non-qualifiers, we get ahead of the game and we start putting them in concurrent enrollment classes. What concurrent enrollment is, by the way, half of them didn't even know what it means. I put you in junior college courses while you're in high school still, and I want to knock out and get you ready to pass the math and English portion of your, because Smitty, here's what people don't understand in these interviews. These inner city kids are struggling the most with what? Math and English. Mm-hmm. To graduate from a 2-year institution and get an AA degree, you need to take 2 transferable math and 3 transferable Englishes. So guess what? The only way for me to get you out in 18 months to a 4-year institution is to get you through those 3 Englishes and 2 maths as fast as I possibly can. I need to prep you prior to your arrival on my campus. So I'm going to put you in concurrent enrollment. These motherfuckers looked at me like, how's this motherfucker know so much? I'm not being cocky. I'm not being cocky or arrogant, homie. This is what I do. This is why I've graduated more students than any human ever coaching community college. I know the hustle and the way. I'm from Compton, homie. Understand, I'm going to take the hood, mix with the fucking privilege, and blend it and figure out, guess what? This motherfucker's going to figure out how to get black kids fucking graduated.
What you call that? The hood and the privilege mixed together. What, is there a word for that?
Chameleon.
Okay.
So my chameleon ass blends all this. This is the problem. None of those people know how to do any of this. And they're looking at me like I'm a problem because they don't want to work, Smitty.
You a threat, homie.
I'm a threat to their livelihood, to their day-to-day operation, that they can come into school and just do the absolute least, get a check, get tenured, get coverage insurance-wise, get their whole retirement paid for, CalPERS, STRS, all that shit for doing bare minimum, while these kids are leaving your school at an all-time high. And by the way, San Bernardino, your graduation rate, not to throw this out there, is fucking 25%.
He threw it out there.
Now, this is the irony, Smitty, the irony of the hiring. Your graduation rate at your college is 25% and you have the irony. You have the irony to act as if you don't know who I am, yet you do. And you think you know better by your last 6 hires have been absolute bust. And you've gone with the DEI method that we've seen cripple a lot of the infrastructure in this country. But anyway, that's a whole other problem. All right, let's go. Smitty, 3.
Next question, let's get it. That's question number 4. Recruiting is critical for this football program. It's critical.
Oh, my dick's hard. I'm in there like, oh my God. Because here's the crazy part, Smitty. Let me give you some context. When I was sitting in the room in Guantanamo Bay, I was sitting there and I got to hear this question being asked to the applicant. And I was sitting. No, it wasn't that, because the questions are all the same. So I had the paper later, right?
Yeah.
But what I heard was a fucking 10-minute answer from this young coach. He was clearly young. From a 10-minute coach. By the way, my graduation rate at Indy was 98. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, I heard this kid's answer, and he was like, he didn't know. And when you don't know, you make a 1-minute answer 10.
Yeah.
So you can try to fool a motherfucker and act like you know some shit when you don't know it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to give some free game here, but I don't want to give too much, but I will give a lot of you guys interviewing some free game. Answer the question. Ask the question, Smitty.
Right. I said one line and you just took off. Recruiting is critical for this football program. How would you approach recruiting local student athletes and building relationships with local high school coaches while ensuring compliance with 3C2A recruiting bylaws? Additionally, how would you delegate recruiting responsibilities among your coaching staff? So answer the first question first.
So anyway, 3C2A is like the NCAA for California JUCO. So you know, that's the bylaws. That's the NCAA for Cali JUCO. Mm-hmm. NJCAA is the national JUCO where I was at in Kansas. So I just want to be clear, that's the 2 different, so everybody knows. Okay, so First of all, this 3-2
Yep.
this 3-2 CA thing, California COA we call it here in California, it probably won't exist anymore after this prep school thing goes into effect from court. So they haven't done forward. They have no like you should ask that. Plus, what if it changes in the legislature and we become this? That's what I would have asked if I was a hiring process, because I know the laws that's coming down. But anyway, here it is, Smitty. First of all, we're going to have a primary zone and a secondary zone in recruiting. Number one. Number two, each one of those zones will be numbered. So San Bernardino Community College District will be our zone 1, and all the schools within it, such as Aquinas and San Bernardino High and Cajon and Colton High School and Redlands and Rev and all these schools, and I just named a few inside of Zone 1, San Bernardino Community College District, within the continuous district of California recruiting bylaws, which I know like the back of my hand. I didn't need to fucking research this or paper. So I said Zone 2 will be Chaffee Community College District, which will be the high schools within Chaffee's district, meaning Chaffee High, Alta Loma High, all these schools, where Eric Weddle went, all these schools, Bobby Wagner went, to all these schools inside of Chaffee's district. Then number 3 would be Citrus. Citrus Community College District would be Zone 3. So how I delegate was another question. So I put each coach in a zone. Each coach has a zone. These are the schools in that zone. You now are held accountable for that zone. And if we don't get those kids in that zone, you coach, will be fired or held accountable. That's primary recruiting. And there's 5 of those zones. And our primary recruiting zone, 1 being San Bernardino, obviously, our backyard.
Yep.
Secondary recruiting zone. That is what we call a C-form first contact, out of district. That means the kid is out of district, illegal for us to recruit. We need them to call first. We note it down. Darnell Smith called us first. We put it on what's called a C form, a first contact form, meaning now we're legal to go and contact them back. They don't know anything like any of this I'm giving.
At this point, they're probably like, whoa. Like, he should have all of our jobs right now, all of our positions.
So I'm trying to actually not be cocky or arrogant either. It's just such a dumb, easy question to me. I'm just like, well, it took me 1 minute to answer all that. I gave you the slow version.
Yeah.
I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And I said, then I will incentivize every single zone with that coach. And that coach will have incentivized things for grabbing certain kids. You know, if you land Darnell Smith and he's the best kid going and he doesn't make it to USC because of academics or the portal. See, these motherfuckers have not a clue what's going on in college football, Smitty. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea what's going on. The portal's affecting these kids. You don't have a clue that your kid's probably not going to get recruited, so we're going to go steal some cats that you don't even know about. But anyway, Smitty.
Let me go to the next one. Let me go to the next question because you answered that flawlessly. What is your teaching philosophy and how do you ensure your students achieve the learning outcomes for your courses? Can you provide an example?
I'm a democratic style with infectious enthusiasm that permeates throughout the campus.
Oh, he said infectious. He can't even spell that shit. Give examples.
See, I know how to play this game. That they don't understand who they're fucking with. And that's what happens is when you have a guy like me, they're going to take that as cocky and arrogant. Because you know me, they think I'm cocky and arrogant. So in a meeting like this, I was trying to be so like grounded and not the guy on Netflix.
Yeah.
But not a fake guy either. I had to play. I wanted to be like, all right, I'm going to go in there and be balanced.
A version of yourself almost. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not going to be fake. I'm never going to do that. I'll never do that. I'm not going to be the Netflix guy they think I am so they can see there's another side to this cat. And so I was like, all right, so I'm going to play the game and show these motherfuckers that I can play this corporate media game too if they want to get into it.
Right.
So they want to be bureaucratic and play this game. I can do it real easy. But I told all you coaches out there, you better have a philosophy, whether it's teaching or coaching, and it better be one sentence or two sentences max, but I keep it in one. you better have it ready to spit out anytime somebody asks you walking down the street. If you run into Nick Saban and he asks you what your coaching philosophy is, guess what? Half of you coaches, I would say more than half, can't answer. You don't know your philosophy. If you don't know your coaching philosophy, coaches, how are you going to coach others? You don't even have your own goddamn philosophy.
Infectious enthusiasm, homie.
But listen, but that's not it. Then I said, I'm a hands-on teacher of fundamentals, and I have an unparalleled drive for success.
Unparalleled drive for success. These trigger words, man, homie. Okay, give examples of successful fundraising or community engagement initiatives you have led for a football program. What were the outcomes?
$3 million at Indy.
Excuse me?
I raised $3 million at Indy before Netflix.
You told us how.
Crowdfunding, emails, people I know, golf tournaments, car dealership ads, door to door. Pat Perez, Nike, Jordan, Adidas, DV Sport. Like, I didn't say this many, but like, wake the fuck up, people. It's not like, it's, no offense, it's not Darnell Smith interviewing that you don't know that's coaching.
Fuck. Got me like, damn.
It's not Darnell Smith coaching. It's you can literally know who I am.
Google my name right now, homie. Don't do that. Google my name right now, see what pops up. I'm the first Darnell Smith to pop up on Google right now. Everybody trying right now, homie.
Smitty, you have no idea like what Pat tells me. Like, get a job, homie, because I fucking throw $1 million in there just to get you the coldest shit. You know what I mean? Like, do people realize who I know and what I can do?
Tell Pat this is the job. Throw the meal at this shit. Pat, throw the meal here.
Did people realize, Smitty, what I could actually do, the game changing that I can affect these kids with? Like, you know what game changing? See, all you players out there that have DM'd me in the last 3 weeks, listen, you guys are the ones that need to go tell these people you're hiring absolute jokes. And you wonder why this team and this school last year couldn't even field a team. You wonder why? It's not hard to figure out. It's not hard to figure out. Shit rolls downhill, Smitty. It starts with the hiring process.
Yeah.
And this is the process that's going on, Smitty, that we see across America, and the kids are suffering. Not me. Not me, homie. Not the coach that didn't get the job. The kids are the ones. They don't want me, Smitty, to tweet out tonight. Let's be honest. Let's say I went through and got the job tonight, and I call you and Smitty. Because you didn't know I was even in this mix, right?
No idea.
Bailey didn't know. Bailey thought I was doing it for a clinic. Smitty, if I tweet out today, I would have did something. You know, I would probably did a video or something. Listen, man, I'm getting back in the business. I got to go one more go at this thing.
We went viral, homie.
Well, not only viral, but here's the ending, though. Now, all you players that need a home, holler. Click. There would have been 2,000 kids enrolling at San Bernardino Valley College tomorrow.
You know where to find me, homie.
Homie, do these people understand?
I ain't hard to find.
I'm trying to figure out, because I got these people that were on this committee. I got these people on this committee, Smitty, that are like, how the fuck does anybody in their right mind not understand what you could do for a place and how many kids want to play for you? Do you know how many fucking DMs I have right now? I wish I would share them. If I could share the private shit, I would do it to let you know that it's real. It would have been the easiest recruiting of my life, Smitty.
Damn.
Because I don't have to find them no more.
They find you, homie.
I don't have to find kids no more.
They're coming to you. Like Dion.
I'm a tweet away. Like, hey, dog, it's San Bernardino Valley, homie. Come through, Wolverines. Like, I can do whatever. And Smitty, we would have filmed everything like Prime in Colorado. We would have made our own. We would have made our own Netflix.
I would have been Bucky with my phone.
We'd have made our own shit. But here's the thing, Smitty. Just go buzz through a couple other questions.
Yeah, we'll go quick. Our current student athlete graduation rate is 25%. How would you have help your players complete the academic requirements within 2 years?
18-month grad plans, a concurrent enrollment, put them on an ability to benefit test. They had no idea, Smitty. Not one person in this committee knew what ability to benefit test was. They all asked me, what is that? Swear to God on my daughter, my dead dad. They asked me what an ability to benefit test was. And this is how cold. I'm going to be honest, dog. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm trying not to be cocky and arrogant with you in here. I want to let you just know how badly kids are being fucked today when there's a guy like me out there that's at least willing to put his foot in the water to try it again, which I did last night, and that's my last time trying it. But let me be honest. Ability to benefit tests, Smitty, for everyone out there, especially inner city kids and youth, need to understand something. This is why I'm a real one. A lot of kids don't graduate with their high school diploma, Smitty, at 18 years old. By law, 18 years old is what is needed to receive financial aid. But to get financial aid per law, you have to have a high school diploma or equivalent GED. These coaches have no idea what an ability to benefit test is. What an ability to benefit test is a test, real simple. You pass the test because you are 18, so you can take the test. You're a non-graduate of high school. By the way, these are my best players I've ever coached. Again, Compton, Turn It Over Rocks, understanding the rules and the laws and how to use them for your players is what makes you a great coach. Nobody in this room, 20 people, knew what an ability to benefit test was. And you are fucking administrators at a college. You're an administrators at a college that have no idea what an ability to benefit, not even your fucking AD, knows what an ability to benefit test was. And I asked them directly in their face yesterday, Smitty, and not one person knew. This is what it is, Smitty. 18 years old, I didn't graduate. My mama got killed. My daddy was a crackhead. I never met him. I had a baby at 16. I didn't graduate high school. How can I go there, coach? I can't get Pell Grant. Yes, you can. You fuck with JB. I got you. Go ask half of Jordan Downs project kids if I got them their fucking FAFSA without graduating. Go ask half of Compton, half of Miami-Dade, half of Deerfield Beach, half of fucking Everglades, half of Dillard, half of fucking every high school in Georgia, South Carolina, Silver Bluff, South Carolina. Go ask Burns High School in South Carolina. Go ask everybody if I got them their financial aid money and they never graduated high school. Said that. Not one person on the committee knew what it was. Smitty, what it is you pass this test, you get financial aid because you're 18. You didn't have to even graduate or have a diploma.
You bad boy.
Also, Smitty, California has out-of-state tuition for out-of-state kids. People hate me in California because I always found the loophole. Washington, D.C., Smitty, I had 50 kids at Compton from D.C. Ballou, Woodrow Wilson, DeMatha. I had some dudes. Some of the greatest kids I've ever coached, by the way, who I talk to this day, are from the D.C. area. I got them in-state tuition day one in California. You know why? Because JB is a hustler and found out that D.C. stands for what? District of Columbia, right?
Exactly. I thought it was a loophole. I thought it was like a trick behind it. That's why I didn't answer it.
Do you know D.C. is not a state? It's a district. You're not out of state.
You a bad motherfucker.
California coaches turned me in for being illegal. And I said I was illegal recruiting. And I had 50 kids from DMV. And everyone was like, how do you have all these DC kids? And they're in-state students. Because I'm the coldest motherfucker that ever walked when it comes to this coaching thing. But you administrators are so scared to understand it ain't about you, homie. It's about us. And that's the players that's involved that are being left and thrown to the wolves now because you refuse to hire the right person. And you have no idea who you're hiring. And You have no idea. You go through the life bare minimum and just walking through the motions. Nobody wants to work. And when I walked in that room, I changed the whole demeanor of the fucking room, Smitty. I'm telling you, I've never seen 20 more scared motherfuckers in my life than yesterday. I'm gonna be honest.
That's insane. That's insane, homie. I got probably two. I got a scenario, and then I'll give you like a last little question just to end it off before we do a quick break before Steve. So this is a scenario. You have a starting quarterback who reports dizziness after being hit during a game, but insists he feels better and wants to return to play. How would you handle this situation while ensuring adherence to safety protocols and athletic regulations?
Before you ask it's a whole question. Here's the thing. This is my exact answer to this question. And by law, it is verbatim by law, it is the correct one. And I want you to ask it as the committee member, and I'm going to answer it in real time speed. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show you exactly what happened. Go answer it.
Jason, we have a scenario for you. A starting quarterback reports dizziness after being hit during a game, but insists he feels better and wants to return to play. How would you handle this situation while also ensuring adherence to safety protocols and athletic regulations?
Nothing.
How would you handle the situation?
Give it to the doctor and the trainer. Now you say, okay, then.
Okay, then.
And let's move on. That's what they said. So it was a minute of silence, and they looked at each other. They looked at each other with a minute of silence, and I'm sitting there. Because, Smitty, it's a trick question. They want the coach to say, I'm going to check him out, and if he's okay, and I think he's okay, I'm going to put him in. Well, you would be fired.
Yeah.
And you would be liable for that kid to suffer any further injury.
Yep.
Here, go to the doctor, son. Go to the trainer, son. By law, that's the answer, homie. They were not ready for that shit. They wanted some long fucking drawn out answer. And I'm sitting there spinning like, looking at these motherfuckers like, what else you want to ask me? Because you know you're not getting shit out of me, homie. This ain't my first fucking rodeo, homie.
Right.
The whole interview is an absolute trick bag, Smitty. It's a joke. It's a mockery of the system. And this is a bunch of people that don't know how to hire, who fucking hire people that should never be around kids. Black kids at that.
Ooh, jeez.
So that's the problem. And by the way, you're gonna hire a black man. I would bet dollars to dimes you hire a brother. That I know one of them on the that went through the deal. And I'm gonna be honest, homie, this motherfucker literally walks around his campus with a backpack on, acting as if he's a player at the school to try to holler at bitches.
Oh, what's his name?
Now let me reiterate. I know a motherfucker that interviewed that literally walks around his school where he's at as an assistant with a backpack on, thinking that he's a student. So bitches think he's a kid at this college. And he's married, by the way. And this motherfucker is applying and probably will get the head coaching job.
How old is he?
Oh, 35.
How in the 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds on campus?
Homie, I'm just telling you, dog. This is who they'll hire. Someone like that.
What's his name, though? It's Truth on Thursday.
I'm not gonna do all that, but I'm just telling you, homie. Just pick one random question. We'll end it with, Smitty.
Well, this is the last one. I'm just gonna do it this way.
If you want to ask the last one, that I get to,
that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, homie. Is there any additional information that you would like to share with the committee, or do you have any questions specific to the position that you would like to ask?
None to share besides thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys. And listen, I have 3 questions. Do you have priority registration for football players? These motherfuckers looked around and exactly. They acted like motherfuckers had no clue, homie. And then they finally said yes. So what priority registration is, Smitty, is
we get our books first and shit. Yeah.
Well, no, we get the classes we need to graduate. Yeah. Since I have 200 fucking players, I should get priority over fucking the history guy.
Normal at the D1 level.
Supposed to be. A lot of California JUCOs don't have priority registration, homie, and it's a joke.
That's crazy.
So anyway, they took fucking 2 minutes to answer it, and then they said, "Yeah, we'll get it." Okay, so that's number one. I asked. Number two, I said, "Do you have the ability to benefit test in place?" That's when they had no clue what it was. I went around 15 members, and not one person knew what the ability to benefit test was, which I asked you, and what I told you guys it was, and it's a joke, homie. This is the kids that are going to be affected. The kids are going to be affected by the hire at this place and all these other places, not me. And the third question was, Smitty, I asked them. I said, "Will I have the ability to schedule my practices, etc., accordingly to the time that fits our needs?" And they said, "Oh, it depends if we share the turf field with soccer and blah blah blah." And I go, "Well, it's probably why." And I'll tell you how it ended. But I said, "Well, maybe you think about changing that because I'll have 200 players here that will need priority, and I like to practice early in the morning or late at night. You know why? Because that's when kids function the best. Not at 3 p.m. after they already went through fucking 7 classes and have to worry about what math class to test to pass and what English class and how their baby mama is and the WIC they need to go get their mama for eggs and milk and the fucking their uncle who's slapping their mama and the fucking homie who just got shot and the fucking fuck homie. Do these people understand what JUCO is? Do they fucking get it? No, they don't get it, homie. And I hope their president is watching this because I just gave you a first-class lesson on how to fucking hire for your campus, Mr. President. Not for fucking me. Motherfucker, I got money. I got hoes and I got houses. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need your fucking $100,000 job. You needed me to be relevant again, and you fucked it up. So, Smitty?
And we're going to end it like this. What's the name of the school you talking about again for the people who just jumped on? What's the name of the school just to close it up? Here we go right here. Thank you, Bradley. San Bernardino Valley College.
You can leave that up. So Smitty, so you understand. My guy called me, who was supposed to be on the committee, who didn't show. Ironically, I don't know about that one. But listen, he called me and said, "What happened, blah, blah, blah." I said, "What happened to you, homie?" He told me what happened. He goes, 5 people on the that got interviewed called me and they said they got emails denying them. Check your email. So I go on the email, I pull up my emails right away. The generic response: "Thank you for coming, coach. We appreciate the interview. At this time, we move forward without moving you on to the next portion of the process." I responded, "LOL, thumbs up." It's a mockery, homie. It really is. It's a job. It's a DEI. We're hiring based on
other factors that's not based upon the kids or coaching. It's about like optics and stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. You and I could give a fuck less who the coach was by his skin color.
Yeah, I care. Was you a good coach? Are we gonna win? What's our scheme? Will we like? Yeah, I want. Yeah.
Or what we're gonna do?
I told you, all my head coaches have always been white. All my head coaches. Now my position coaches, I've had brother, black, high school line coach, and that's whatever. But all my head coaches, Coach Hart, who I'm still cool with to this day, Coach Limbo, it's just that's who I had, So it is what it is, man. And that's crazy. I'm glad you shared that though to give us we got real insight. I got insight. I've never interviewed for a coaching position, so it's cool to see that. And appreciate the fans for staying locked into that.